So when you start a park in a sandbox mode, a million ideas pop into your head. Where do you even begin? Do you start with rides? Do you play shops? Or do you just freestyle and hope it works out? Today I'll show you how I approach park layouts. From themes and starting points to inspiration, guest flow, landmarks, transitions, and even how to avoid the burnout. I'll share examples from my own parks like Imaginaria and Moana Waterpark, plus some real-life layouts and examples from Disney and Tivoli Gardens. Let's dive straight in. The hardest question is always, how do I even start? You open Sandbox, stare at an empty map and feel stuck. The best way to break that block is to start with big picture decisions. What are you building? Are you building a theme park? A water park? Or even a resort? Is this a low budget project, a high budget one, or is it something in between? What's the style? Like eerie fantasy, hardcore steampunk, tropical adventure, realistic family park, or a hybrid park? These decisions set the identity of your park. Once you know the direction, everything else, rides, shops, theming, flows from that. But remember, flat rides, coasters, and restaurants will naturally come along the way. What matters most is picking a ground point. Maybe it's your main street, maybe a coaster station, or even a single restaurant. That anchor gets you moving and stops you from staring at an empty map for hours. And here's the truth though. If the groove doesn't hit after a few tries, that's usually a sign that the project isn't right for you. What you're building isn't right for you. And that's totally fine. Switch your focus. Try something new and get your creativity going again, you know? Because when the groove does hit, you just know this build is going to be special. One last tip here is it's fine to juggle two projects at once. That way, if you get stuck in one, you can refresh yourself in the other. But don't push it beyond that. If you've got 5 projects running, chances are you'll never finish any of them. There's nothing wrong with taking inspiration or using references. In fact, it's one of the best ways to get started. For me personally, Pinterest is always the first stop. Just type in what you're thinking. Fantasy buildings, theme park concept, steampunk city, tropical cottage. Whatever fits your project, you'll get hundreds of ideas and you can save your favorites into a folder. Then there's ArtStation. It's more specialized. It's built for game design and concept art. And sometimes you'll find pieces here that you've never seen on Pinterest. And of course, if you want something fast, you've got the AI tools now. You got Midjourney, you got ChatGPT, image generation. They can mix concepts together and give you custom reference art in minutes. And then don't forget Google Maps. Look at real parks. Disney, for example, here. You can roam around, check out everything. You can go bird's eye view. You can go down on the ground and check out all the small little details. You can do the same with so many other parks like Europa Park in Germany, Tivoli Gardens in Denmark, Thor Park in United Kingdom, and Efteling in the Netherlands. From above you can see how layouts flow, and you can zoom in and you can find detailed attraction references. Reference images aren't about copying, they're about kickstarting your creativity. Use them for the foundation, then evolve your own spin throughout your build. Now let's talk about flow, because you don't want people getting stuck in dead ends. You want the park to feel like a constant natural journey, right? One of my favorite methods is the circle layout. It keeps guests moving, no stopping points. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It can be oval, it can be heart-shaped. I mean, you can even make a square. It is all depending on what you do after. From there, you add smaller paths that branch off, cross over, and connect back. That way, no matter which way guests go, left or right, they're always moving forward and eventually looping back. Real-life parks do this too. Disneyland and Magic Kingdom use the hub and spoke system. Everything radiates from the central castle and guests always loop back to the hub. Efteling has winding loops that reconnect and guide guests through fairy tale zones. Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen is smaller, but it still uses a loose loop with anchorites branching off. And this brings me to landmarks and weenies. Walt Disney called them weenies, the icons that pull guests deeper into the park. Castles, mountains, volcanoes. In my parks, I've used landmarks like the Central Lighthouse in Imaginaria, which is built by Coaster Cat. The volcano structure style I did in Moana Waterpark. Landmarks don't just look good, they give your park structure. Guests always have something to aim for, and from a design standpoint, it helps you know where the heart of each area should be. One trick I use all the time is colored boxes. I'll place temporary shapes in different colors to mark where areas, buildings, or rides will go. It's rough, but it gives me focus. Because here's the thing, losing track is what leads to burnout. That's when you start 5 projects but never finish any. If a project feels too overwhelming, don't give up. Just scale it down, scratch half the plan, and focus on finishing the core. Even if that's just a coaster and a restaurant, at least it's complete. My Blackmire project in Planet Coaster took 5 years. Over that time, my skills improved so much that I kept redoing things to match my new level. It dragged the whole thing out forever. That's when I realized, don't let perfection stop you from finishing. And remember, breaks are fine, but the longer you step away, the harder it is to come back. Stay in the rhythm. That's how you actually finish a park. Another part of layouts people overlook is transitions between areas. A lot of beginners hard cut between themes. You walk out of a sci-fi zone and suddenly you're in Pirates. No connection. Instead, think about soft transitions. A forest path that slowly changes foliage, a bridge or tunnel that gives guests a breather between zones, or blending 2 styles together for a short stretch. Example, in Imaginaria, the Twisted Hamlet zone, we transition into the unworldly realms. I made this ruin-style archway that has ruins and a big tower that has been kind of broken off that leads into the fantasy forest. And it feels natural and not jarring. Transitions make the whole park feel like one story. For example, from the main street, if we go to the left of it, we have our next level entrance, which is made by Dandy Chickens. Again, we're doing a transition that kinda makes something look like it still belongs, but when you enter it and reach the other side, you are in a different sort of themed land. And that is what a lot of these high budget theme parks are very good at doing. Finally, remember that your layout will always change, and that's okay. You can plan a park from A to C on paper, but once you start building, it'll evolve, and that's part of the fun. Think about your own growth. Compare your first builds when the game launched to what you make now. The difference is massive, so why expect a layout to stay exactly the same? For beginners, start small. Build a mini park, try a single themed land, or just focus on a few blueprints. Don't try to build Disney World on your first go. Even professionals use iterative design. Start rough, refine, and polish. You don't need the perfect plan up front. You just need to get moving. So to recap, start with your theme and ground point, gather inspiration, design for guest flow and landmarks. Stay on track with placeholders, use smooth transitions, and let your layout evolve as you grow as a builder. Look at real parks like Disney or Tivoli. Their layouts aren't random. They're carefully planned to keep guests moving, to tell a story, and to make sure that there's always something exciting around the corner. Now, I want to hear from you. What layout style do you use in your parks? Circle, grid, or something completely different? Drop it in the comments and maybe I'll feature your park in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, remember to subscribe and hit that bell button. I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.